What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Check this out without a doubt, man. Let's see what this bad boy is all about. Suge Knight interview on Bieber Diddy, I guess. J-Lo, Beyonce, yeah, Bieber video and True Crime Podcast. Hey, shout out to Sean. Y'all go check his channel out, Sean 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗏. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell over here. I'm gonna give you my 2 cents on what's happening and everything. I'm kind of glad that Suge Knight is doing podcasts, but from jail. In my world, if I was running things, if you in jail, you can't do no podcast, dog. Today's jails are ran too loosely. If today's jails was ran tighter, less people will want to go. So they will behave themselves. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell.
In the Francis interview, you talked about Bieber going on romantic vacations with wealthy men.
Already.
Is that normal in the industry? Young people getting groomed and drugged and manipulated?
And if you look at all the footage with him and Puffy or anyone else, you can tell something going on romantically. And if it was my child, somebody's gonna have their teeth knocked out their mouth.
Come on.
All those people who was involved, regardless as preachers, athletes, artists, can't just crucify one man. So therefore, at the end of the day, there's going to be people that is witnesses or there's going to be accomplices. But at the same time, all the people can do all the pointing the finger. But if you hang with Puffy all the time, everywhere you go, they go. And you with them when they arrest him, and nobody gets handcuffed. I ain't pointing the finger at Stevie J, but it looks really suspect. You know, Puffy. All right, somebody hanging in each other. He says that all eyes on you. Said all eyes on me. Now it's all eyes in the car. Now that dude ain't never met Tupac in his life. I would drag their ass. And he constantly throwing these shots. But at the same time, anybody want to talk about Puffy because you got a relationship with Puffy. It ain't my business who's on the bottom, who's on the top. But all the allegations and the writing on the wall, some sexual going on. I mean, it's a guy named Dick Boy who I thought I probably would push him out the way before he won't get shot. Because he always been a good guy and I never let out his secrets. Allegedly, everybody knew that in the beginning to send Big Boy gifts and send other people gifts in return for favors, bedtime favors.
Okay. Alrighty. Maybe that's just all the intro. Music way too loud. Especially with that telephone sound. The telephone sound is not as clean as our sound. Plus you got that music too loud. So I'm hoping they turn the music down, you guys.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you doing this, man. Like I said, you know, I did 6 years in Arizona and I got a little taste of what you're going through. So I know we've got limited time. I'll get straight into it. I interviewed Netanya Rubin. She's alleging that Diddy shot her in the face at a nightclub and that J-Lo smuggled a gun in. Did you hear about that, and what are your thoughts?
It was just like the first time I fell in love, like, love at first sight.
He was larger than life, but at first I didn't like him at all. You know, I didn't. I thought he was like, you know, I didn't like him because, you know, Sean and I were very different that way. You know, I was very, like, family-oriented, and that's how I was raised. Once I got to know him, and, you know, we became friends first, and then we we developed this bond. We both understood where we were at that time in our lives, and we both knew nobody else understood exactly how we felt. So in that way, we kind of bonded.
Well, I heard about that, and I had thoughts about that when that happened. I was in prison. I think I was in prison then. I'm quite sure. And one of the things that anytime somebody gets shot, anytime it gets overlooked, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. I'm not saying that you want to turn on a shooter and have a shooter go to prison for the rest of his life, but still get a person who got shot respect. What I mean by that, if you shot somebody on accident or you shot somebody on purpose, you don't have to personally go and get yourself in trouble, but look out for them, you know. Give them $1 million check or something. Give them a $500,000 check. I think it was wrong for J-Lo.
This call and/or telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And I said this a long time ago. If it was one of my artists and it was a situation where we was both in, I just would have made a deal. I would have said, instead of giving the artist 6 years or 10 years, I'd have broke it down. You can have both of us. We do 2 apiece or 1 apiece. So it's always good to be, I believe in doing the right thing. And I don't always do the right thing, and I take accountability because I ain't perfect. But there's one God, and there's one way to make everybody happy by stepping up. That's, how I feel about it.
So Netanya has pointed out there's a lot of people in prison who were just present when something went down, yet J-Lo allegedly smuggled this gun in and nothing happened to J-Lo, and she wants justice. What do you think of that?
We don't gotta say allegedly. We don't gotta say allegedly anymore. We can say it for you do purpose, but everybody who's anybody knew that what she grabbed and what she did. And the sad thing about all this is that there's nothing wrong with the truth. If we stand by the truth, that'll make the world a better place. So there's so many times that see, one thing about Hollywood or the entertainment business, a lot of people is not as talented as people think they are. But you got a lot of people made to be stars. Like, a lot of stars weren't born, they was made to be stars. So when they made to be stars, they have no control. They have no value to themselves. And that's why so many guys in the entertainment business, over the years, always been addicted to some type of drugs or alcohol or all above because the things they had to go through. So we got to make a change for it. We got to make a difference.
The jury now appears to be focusing on the gun possession and bribery charges against Sean Puffy Combs. This afternoon, jurors sent the judge 2 notes, one of which asked for a transcript of a phone message Combs left Wardell Fenderson, once his driver, now the prosecution's star witness. During the trial, Fenderson testified that Combs was armed the night of the shooting at Club New York, and later pressured him to claim ownership of a pistol police found when they pulled over Combs' Lincoln Navigator as it fled the shooting.
And I just want to make you feel, comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Make your family feel comfortable.
What exactly Combs meant by that is in dispute, but the prosecution claims the rapper offered Fenderson $50,000, or a diamond ring, to take the rap for the gun. The jurors also wanted to hear a readback of testimony relating to Combs' former girlfriend, actress-singer Jennifer Lopez, who was in the Navigator when it was stopped by police. An officer testified that everyone in the SUV was ordered to put their hands on the vehicle, but Lopez walked away, saying she was going home. As she was being detained, a gun was discovered in the vehicle. At that point, a sergeant on the scene ordered everyone who was in the vehicle under arrest. The officer quotes Lopez as saying, "It's not my gun."
What we was talking about J-Lo, right? What I was saying is, a lot of the companies own these artists. The ones they own and the one they like, they protect. Because I remember when I first met Jimmy Iovine and Ted Fields at Interscope, they was about to go bankrupt, That's what I got Death Row Records, which is my company, and I named my vision. And we did some things together, but I always own my masters and my catalog and all that. And One day they wanted to buy it. I turned them down. They said, well, let them buy half of it. I turned them down. And then Jimmy says, well, do you want half of a big cake, or do you want a whole cookie? I said, I'm going to take the whole cookie, because if that cookie crumbles, I can eat piece by piece, add a little water to it, and make more cookies, right? I said, half a cake. It's your half. And you smell like shit. And at the end of the day, these guys or the industry put everybody against each other. And I'm about the community. I'm about the culture of hip hop. Because the more you learn, the more you know, the more you can protect yourself and protect others. But there have people supporting, pushing negativity all the time. I'm not perfect, but there are people pushing negativity all the time and thinking it's going to be okay. And it never be okay. We losing, like, you take Benny Medina. Benny Medina was J-Lo manager, Puffy, well, you know, Puffy's partner, and the rest of them. And so many people, what Benny Medina used to do is make sure anybody he deals with is safe. That part was smart, but they had to cross that line to be able to deal with Benny Medina. I mean, it's a guy named Dick Boy who I used to be able to, I thought I probably would push him out the way before he won't get shot. Because he always been a good guy, and I never let out his secrets. Allegedly, everybody knew that Benny Medina used to send Big Boy gifts and send other people gifts in return for favors, bedtime favors, you know. And when you look at it, you start wondering, what are we really standing for? Because on one hand, you have people who really help people. I know in my career, the people I helped, I changed their life for the better. I know some guys whose plants come in and talk bad about the people of the culture of hip hop, and every person they deal with make their life worse. I remember getting Game out of a contract with Interscope because he was signed to one of my friends named K-Dog, who they forged his name and stole the money. Another person take him to Koch and destroy his career. I remember knowing Ray J as a young man, basically a kid, and did a lot of things to help him. Another person to grab Ray J, and Ray J go from being a civilized person to spending nights and nights and months at Puffy's house and turn out to be a whole different person. Same thing with a lot of these guys. I think it's really important that we watch who we deal with. If somebody's going to make your life and your career better, no matter what people say about them, that's the right person to deal with. It's just the truth.
A shocked and devastated Diddy spotted at the home where his ex suddenly and mysteriously died. Her good friend 𝗗𝗎𝗓 appearing inconsolable at the house, 47-year-old Porter's body found after a desperate call to 911.
EMS 14, respond with engine 76 on scene of the cardiac arrest.
Tonight, Kim's untimely death raising questions and sending shockwaves through Hollywood. She was the fashion model, actress, and world-famous mother to Diddy's kids.
Extra, extra.
With the hip-hop superstar and their children as he received his star on the Walk of Fame.
We're gonna make sure we have this moment right here.
She was last seen looking happy and healthy with her ex and their children at this event just 16 days before her death. TMZ reporting she had been suffering from flu-like symptoms and possibly pneumonia, but an official cause has yet to be released. People reporting she and her longtime love, Sean Combs, remained close friends and co-parents. A source saying they were still a family. Kim posting this photo just weeks ago. Only Extra was with the couple at their New York baby shower for twins Delilah and Jesse.
So do we have two future ballerinas possibly? Yes, of course.
The happy parents-to-be kissing for our camera, Diddy telling AJ,
I just take everything in as a blessing, you know. I got 3 sons and to have these young ladies on the way is incredible.
With us at the 2005 Oscars where he accidentally stepped on her gown.
Hey, watch that dress.
Sorry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I've just been giving kisses.
A magnet for the camera every time she hit any Beverly Hills hotspot. Today, her close friends posting their last respects. Kevin Hart saying, "You were a beautiful person, inside and out." Nicki Minaj, the most heartbreaking news. Drake posting, "Sending peace and prayers to my brothers and to the big homie, Puff." One of Kim's final Instagram posts, this message, "I trust in divine timing. The universe has my back." Tonight, the entertainment world mourning her passing at only 47.
So I interviewed big homie CC, and he said he had ended up with pneumonia 3 times. He did security for a club for Diddy. And Kim Porter dying of pneumonia, her ex dying of pneumonia. Big homie pointed out that he thinks it's being weaponized, possibly by Diddy. Do you think there's any credence to that?
Well, I'm not going to add something to get Puffy any more trouble than he already in. But I would say this. If you look at the history of the entertainment business, it started from the 60s all the way to now. It's not a coincidence how people die suddenly, or people end up in prison, or people getting sick. Nobody died from AIDS faster than he did. Eric say he got a cold one day, go to the hospital one day, the next thing you know, in 2 days he's dead. So that says a lot.
Yep.
But at the same time, when you look at all of it, it's a pattern. And my opinion, well, the fact is, Puffy's been real familiar with law enforcement for years. And Puffy's been real good to a lot of people, and people might feel he's been negative to a lot of people. But it's a big ass world with a small ass circle of good people.
I hope you're enjoying the podcast. As a word from my sponsor, NordVPN. As many of you know, I am inundated with links from hackers and cyber bandits trying to steal my channel. I've lost it twice, actually. But now with NordVPN, with just one click,
here we go.
I am safe. There are so many attacks out there that Nord protects you from, half of which I've never even heard of before. You got the man in the middle attack. You're at a cafe. You think you're using the free Wi-Fi. Boom! They steal your sensitive data. You've got phishing. You've got password attacks. You've got DDoS. Yes, I got one of them. They tried to shut down my live stream. We've got malware. We've got malvertising. We've got ransomware. And also, if you want to watch something overseas, my documentary of Sammy the Bull is coming out in January. In America, guess where my VPN will be set at? There's nothing worse than a VPN that slows you down, but NordVPN is the fastest VPN out there. You can get an exclusive NordVPN deal plus 4 months extra here at my link /nordvpn.com/@Wood, ATT It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Link is in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. Again, it's /nordvpn.com/@Wood, ATT. Cheers.
And when you look at it, when it's all said and done, look at the track record. I mean, people know the situation with Pac. Tupac probably is one of the greatest persons I ever met in my whole life. Really dig in. And they slandered Pac's name through the mud. Before he got killed, and they try to do it today after he got killed. You got people who never met that man speaking on that man. Never knew that man. But when you look at it, what are all the things that Puffy has done? Everybody knows it. You can look at it. You can look at the things they've done for certain people. I don't believe in talking bad about the dead because it's really important that we always honor these people. I think certain ways that Puffy, whatever his name is, all those type of guys played a role of initially getting assassinated. Because you took a young man who was a great artist who was doing well for his community. Next thing you know, these guys trying to pull him away from his community. putting words in his mouth, making more people jealous of it. Jealousy is the biggest weapon in the world. Because after jealousy, more likely it's become death or become prison. And we're going through this. There used to be a time, now I say this more than once, there used to be a time, because I used to go and speak at a lot of places, in schools, and talk to the kids, and just say, hey, man, I want to be a drug dealer. You like, look, man, pick something else. A drug dealer ain't going to end up well. Either you're going to get life in prison, or give them 40, 50 years, or you're going to be dead. Somebody going to rob you, have in the back of the trunk of a car. Pick something else. You can be an athlete, you can be a rapper. Nowadays, when a young person say, I'm going to be a rapper, you got to look and say, oh, man, pick something else. Because all the best talent of the rappers is ending up in a sad story, a sad situation. Death, prison, on drugs. We have to stand up.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I think it's ridiculous for all these artists to be accused and have to go too much, have to go through so many things that they go through. At the same time, I'm not going to be here like some of these other guys who was hanging with Puffy to put Puffy down. There's so many people who's hanging with Puffy. That's like if a guy's an alcoholic. Any person if a woman he's dating, a person.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Because he drinks. So if you spend the night at Puffy house and you at the parties, shit. And even if you're a man, either his box is going to be smelling like shit, and your box is going to be smelling like shit. Somebody's box is going to smell like shit in the front, somebody's box is going to smell like shit in the back. Ray J and Puffy did an album called 11 Brothers or Brother Lovey or whatever it was. We still waiting on it to come out.
Right. Smoking you stove, I like that, man.
Everybody know one thing about me. I don't care any Hollywood, any on the streets, especially Hollywood rappers.
Yeah.
We get our paperwork.
Yeah.
And see what all we ever been arrested for. I guarantee you, it's never been nothing for me but straight real violence.
Ain't no, you ain't snitching.
I ain't never in my life told. You know, I'm the mother. When people ask me if I know who killed Tupac, and not saying Tupac dead or alive, but I'm saying if I ask me if I know who killed Tupac, I'm the said, hey, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No. I don't get down like that. One thing people got to realize, it's mother born and raised out here.
Yeah.
You both respect the mother who live out here.
Yeah.
Because right now we got a lot of out-of-towners living out here, and they ain't said nothing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll have a 90 mother walk down the street and said Suge Knight killed Tupac. When everybody know off the top, I ain't the nigga killed Tupac, I'm the protector
That's
Tupac.
crazy.
Yeah. But at the same time, bitch ass Puffy can give him a mother star, and every rat in the world said he didn't want to kill Tupac or had him shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you notice, it was a rat on television saying.
See, here's what my problem is. Or our problem, us normal people. I can't visualize being a millionaire and my fantasy is a little boy. I can't visualize that. If I had all the money in the world, I swear to God, I want to have 3 or 4 pretty adult women that's just like, that's my fantasy. But the thing about it is, we are all adults. I don't want to do it if somebody don't want to do it. I don't get no pleasure out of doing something against somebody's will. I don't get no pleasure in that. No pleasure. So I think everybody else is human in that, like that. I don't know what I'm saying, man. I'm trying to give you a point. I can't fathom seeing or understanding or try to understand why would somebody want to go on vacation with a little kid?
He the one did the shooting, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, right?
Right.
If you think about it, right?
Right.
Why you think nobody been arrested if they said they the one killed Tupac?
Because they're snitching to the police, so they ain't gonna get arrested.
Not just to snitch and be smart, son. Because Tupac not dead. Tupac not dead. He was dead. they'd be arresting those dudes for murder. You know he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar on the island
you doing right now?
You know what I mean?
In the Francis interview, you talked about Bieber going on romantic vacations with wealthy men. Is that normal in the industry? Young people getting groomed and drugged and manipulated and sold, you know, that they're going to be made into stars if they do these things?
I mean, it's like this. I really don't like touching on the situation with Bieber, Justin Bieber, because, you know, number one, I think, as far as I can see, he's an incredible young man. He's an incredible artist still today. But I thought he didn't get treated fairly, because a grown man is not going to take a young man on a romantic honeymoon, just the two of them. And all these guys is not going to be around Justin Bieber feeding him drugs when he's underage. And if you look at all the footage with him and Puffy or anyone else, you can tell something going on romantically. And if it was my child, somebody gonna have their teeth knocked out their mouth. You know, something like that, I wouldn't even have to go to trial. I would just show up to court and say, Yana, give me my time. Because the youth, the younger generation, is the future. There's nothing better than the youth. And if you can turn around and keep misleading them or taking advantage of them, that teaches them to take advantage of someone else. We praise the wrong people. There's only one God. And allegedly you can say, or you can say it's not, however you want to say it. Everybody knew Quincy Jones' movement is Quincy Jones' movement. Michael Jackson is not here to tell it. Or a lot of other people. But at the same time, when it hit the fan with Puffy, all of a sudden, Quincy winds up digging. And I've never seen, I could be wrong, I'm in prison. And it wasn't an autopsy of the cause of death. Right. Maybe, I ain't saying someone killed him, but maybe he knew the walls closing in, and it was time to go. Because all these guys in the industry, hands are very, very dirty. In other words, their hands smell like shit. By having their hands and fingers on somebody's ass. And people don't want to admit it. People want to sweep it under the rug. But I think one of the most important things we have today is we want the truth. I don't think Puff should get dragged through the mud by itself. I think they should give him an opportunity. He's going to do it anyway. Is bring the truth to the facts. And the facts is, all those people who was involved with growing up as preachers, athletes, artists, you can't just crucify one man. So therefore, at the end of the day, there's going to be people that is witnesses or they're going to be accountable. But at the same time, all the people can do all the pointing the finger. But if you hang with Puffy all the time, everywhere you go, they go. And you with them when they arrest him, and nobody get handcuffs. I ain't pointing the finger at Stevie J, but it looks really, really suspect. Because it's just like if I'm with one of my friends and somebody jump on him, and he got a bloody nose from fighting, I better have a bloody nose from fighting because I'm supposed to be fighting with him. If I'm with one of my friends, I'm in the car with Tupac, you best believe I better have a bullet in my head, another fragment, another scar, and everything else to try to protect him and ride with him. It's only one way. It's either or. There's no such thing as neutral. You're not cars. And everything, we can look at it right there. Even when it comes to the fact that I came with the name Death Row Records. I started Death Row Records. I made Death Row Records. I am Death Row. But at the same time, they want me so bad, I try to destroy my legacy, you'll get Snoop to say he owns Death Row. He don't own Death Row. He didn't buy Death Row. Snoop didn't represent Death Row when he was on Death Row. Even his birthday, he posts something. He gonna post something with, what's the dummy name? P. Yeah. He posts something with P and those guys. He didn't post something with Pac because he didn't like Pac and Pac didn't like him. When it was all said and done, it all went bad. When it's all said and done, you took somebody allegedly like Martha Stewart to bring and say, oh, I ain't with Snoop. He had something to do with Tupac getting killed. He gangster. And knock that shit off. At the same time, The Voice is one of the most racist shows in the world because you can have Snoop go on there and hand out a Death Row chain that I created, that I started, and say it's his. If I was a white man, The Voice would never done that. But since I'm a black man, I gotta fight. But it's not a bad thing because I came in this world fighting. My mother had some miscarriages before me. My father wanted his son. And he both miscarried. So they didn't think she could be able to get pregnant again or go through the whole term. And I made it. I had two sisters. At the same time, I had to fight for my mother's love because I was the youngest. I had to fight for anything I had to get. There's no different than that. In my situation, I shouldn't even be in prison. If you go back to the first situation,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Two brothers came to the studio, my studio, on some bullshit. No weapons, no guns. They got roughed up a little bit. We get into it. They say their driver's license is missing. So you give me a robbery for a driver's license missing? They pull the police over. The police said, I don't believe nothing they say. I can tell they lying. The DA turns around and says, you know what? Jerry Heller and the other guys want you to go to prison because you took Trey. But if you give my daughter a recording contract, we're going to back off you. So I was forced to give her 50 grand and about another $500,000 on the project. Had to lease this man's house in Malibu. He wasn't selling the house to me. I gave him money to buy the house and everything else. And guess what? I would have won this case. But instead, when they found out that he was involved with me and the attorney.
I hope you're enjoying the podcast. Here's a word from our sponsor, Skylight. How easy is it to use?
Well, look, he's using it now.
Whether you're tech savvy or not, if a 1-year-old can use it.
Who's that?
It's beloved by millions. Millions of families have fallen in love with the Skylight frames.
Is that mummy?
Sold across 34 countries with 675 million photos and videos shared. Wow.
And all you've got to do is download an app, the Skylight app, and you can upload all of your favourite photos to it. So as you can see, I've uploaded about 100 so far.
This holiday season, give the gift that keeps on giving memories, whether it's for grandparents who adore seeing the grandkids' latest antics, or a friend who loves capturing every moment. The Skylight frame is the perfect gift to bring joy and connection into any home. It's easy to use, effortless setup and instant sharing with no app or subscription required. And a quick 1-minute setup, Skylight is designed to be easy for all ages. Simply plug in the frame and you're ready to start sharing memories. As you can see, it's got an intuitive touchscreen display, interactive and engaging. The 10-inch color touchscreen allows for easy interaction, letting you pinch, crop and zoom photos directly on the frame, creating a personalized experience. Gift mode, the ultimate surprise. Preload your favorite photos before gifting the Skylight frame. When your loved one plugs in their new frame, they'll be welcomed with special memories ready for immediate enjoyment. It's better than social media. Skylight Frame is a great private way to share photos without posting them to the world or having to print hard copies. Store thousands of photos. Skylight Frame can hold up to 8,000 photos with 8 gigabytes of space. Satisfaction guaranteed. We're confident that you'll love Skylight. They offer free 120-day returns. For a limited time, get up £40 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to uk.skylightframe.com/Shaun, SHAUN. That's right. To get up to £40 off your Skylight Frame, just go to uk.skylightframe.com/Shaun. That's uk.skylightframe.com/Shaun. Get up to £40 off a Skylight Frame at uk.skylightframe.com. Shaun, link in the description box if you're watching this on YouTube. Cheers. Thanks for supporting our sponsor. Back to the podcast.
They punished me. Then they gave me 2 pieces of paper to sign. If my lawyer knew the DA, I go home. If I knew the DA, I go home. I choose not to make the next person's life miserable. And then I was right. They didn't have me to violate me. And the reality of it, I should be, the law says, no person in higher authority has a right to be involved with a guy fighting a case like me and have a personal relationship. Only person that worked out the situation is me. So I'm in the process of taking that deal back in that situation. Even the situation I'm in now. A really good friend of mine, great person, told me that black attorneys is only 5%. Out of that 5%, 2 of them is men, 2 of them is women. And the majority of the black attorneys only can fight so far for you because they got to go by the rules of being a lawyer. So the deck is already stacked against the person. I say this all the time. I'm not knocking the Mendez brothers are going home. One thing we do know, they do it.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
They killed their parents. The mother was begging for her life. She got the worst of it. She was still alive. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Her hand was already shot off. He go back out, load it back up, and shoot her in the face to her eye popped out. And they got new evidence saying, hey, guess what? The father had sex with another band member. Okay, so they get to go home with life without, or they get to get a manslaughter, the same thing I got. But the reality of it, I got new evidence where it's a check, it was a murder for hire case, it's proof of the gun, and more importantly, my new evidence is better than their new evidence. They got a great attorney. 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 is a great guy, and I like 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦. I got great attorneys also. Only thing different is it's the color of our skin. And at the same time, when you really look at it, the FBI that called me before, told my lawyers and told me that I'm more likely to die because people have put money on my life to have me killed, assassinated. Before I caught this case, I got shot 7 times in one of them. 7 times. They know who did it. They know what police was involved. You would even just say, make songs about it. I don't say, what, 3 months later, somebody try to kill me again, and I get away, and I ended up got 10 years off my life already.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I don't even look at that as the worst thing in life, because that made me closer to my family. That made me realize who loved me, who don't love me. And once you get to a certain point in your life, especially nowadays, you can't even have a decent conversation with people. Because when you talk to somebody, even if they're attorneys, 9 out of 10, they're recording you. They got hidden agendas. They want to do a book. They want to do a movie. They want to be on somebody's podcast and make a nothing person out of somebody. There's one thing you guarantee: you can't make chicken soup out of chicken shit. And we keep going through the same thing. Reason why I always be willing to talk to somebody like yourself who did time, who know what it is, because we owe it to our community. We owe it to ourselves to make our environment much better. Because right now, it's getting worse.
Yeah, I hear you. I heard one guard said to me, "You should have committed your crimes in Chicago. We only arrest black people out there." I know what it's like, man. But he said Diddy was a snitch. If he was a snitch, how come they stopped protecting him? We interviewed a guy called 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦, the Trump hotel shooter. I'm sorry, I watched the interview with him, and he said that Diddy was part of the black Illuminati, the 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦, and they fell out with him. Is there anything to that?
Well, I do know this. I'm not here to throw that dude on the bus. But
You have 60 seconds remaining.
But like anything else, those informants, those rats, they gonna get tired of him one day. And his handler might be retired or dead already. But hopefully he can get some justice and not get washed up, because what they trying to do to that man, his parole officer not even born yet. So what that is. But at the same time, only thing I can go by is what I know. Only thing I can go by was facts. And the facts is that, put it to you like this. Him and Ray J was besties. Ray J talking bad about it now, but they was wherever they was. I know they could always be together. Right. Well, I know this. They had a lot of people, Leslie, who was been involved with the assassination of Tupac and myself. And the different people that went on these platforms and told their truth, how they was involved with Tupac being dead. You had the guy who's in custody in Vegas saying that Puffy gave him this money, this person gave him that money. And then he also stated that if you don't hurry, get me out,
right.
I'm going to tell them everybody.
Right. We don't care about ourselves.
Next thing you know, you got a guy trying to build PPD out. You got everybody street talk. And they basically saying Ray J, the so-called manager, is trying to deliver the bill not. If you can say they want to bail him out to do a movie, we're going to do that movie. He already did a book. If you want anything about that, he did a book already. But at the same time, they knew this from day one. But they still use Tupac situation, him dying, and send me to prison the first time. They send me to prison this time. Even though they knew the truth. The first thing the DA tells the judge, do you know who Tupac is? He's like, who don't? Well, Tupac gets in the car with Mr. Knight, and he ends up dead. What does that sound like?
Yeah.
Even though they know it's the farthest thing from the truth. Even though they know I got a bullet into my skull, but they weren't able to remove it because it would have another inch out of them dead or vegetable. So at the same time, I still feel the same way. I think that Puffy should get an opportunity to prove his innocence, because that's the law. shouldn't be one-sided. It should be fair across the board for everyone. I don't play by the bullshit rules. And I'm not here to have somebody who come behind me, the younger generation, to fall in the same trap that we all fell in. I do understand the politics of it. I do understand that if we don't start caring about ourselves, why should anybody else care about it? And
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
The United States is not really about racism anymore. It's about rich and poor.
Just like LaTanya was saying now, Suge Knight, I never even knew that. I know Suge Knight was in the car, but I never knew that he got hit in the head with a bullet. So Hollywood teaches us, for lack of a better word, if a bullet hit your head, you gone, you dead, you got severe damage. LaTanya is lying because she didn't get shot. Everybody's saying that, oh, Suge Knight didn't get, or he got hit with a bullet. It's a ricochet. Because we think that if you got hit with a bullet in the head, you're dead. But that's not necessarily the case. So the fact of the matter is, this Suge and everybody else that I know that got shot in the head and still lived and they living normal lives, let me know that it's more truth to LaTanya's story and to Suge Knight's story. So that's deep. That's something to remember, man.
When they out of town in Compton, and I'm living, born and raised on the almighty east side of Compton. But till today, they're going to see me fall before they help me. They'd rather help a person who's racist against them. So everything is in our heads. We definitely got to put it on the table and make it truthfully help anybody.
Suge, when that bullet hit your skull, were you unconscious at that point, or were you aware of what was going on?
Yeah, I was conscious because I was able to see what happened, hear what happened, and I know what happened. So I was definitely conscious. That night, you get all these people telling different stories. You get all these culture vultures. You get the people who wasn't there. You get the people that, if they was there, it was part of the assassination. But everybody have a story to make they accept somebody. I never seen a person want to be somebody by living the next person's life. And a lot of times, people want to push death row, people want to talk about Tupac, people want to talk about all these great things on all the sides. Because you got to realize one thing. Ruthless, death row, Murray Inc., I can go on the list, right? G-Unit, all these strong black companies, Rockefeller, Bad Boy. Why is it we can't say Jeff Jam was black? Because when Russell started, we all know that Rick Rubin was this shit. It was New York coin. And Russell always have a conversation with him being on his stomach. But we would have really grown as a community, as real people in society to help so many others. But instead, it was infiltrated. And everybody was turned against each other. Even Cash Money. You take Cash Money, I don't know who in the hell giving Stella advice, Stella should have been able to sold that company for $1.5 billion. You got Juvenile, Lil Wayne, Drake, Nicki Minaj. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. He could have sold that company, cashed in for $1.5 billion. But if you listen to everybody, it's clues even in their music. Rick Ross, this dude do a song because he hang with Puffy. All right, somebody hanging in each other.
Yeah.
He says that all eyes on me. Now it's all eyes in the coffin. Now that dude ain't never met Tupac in his life, but since your relationship with Puffy, you throw a jab at Pac. And you know, I'm definitely into trying to improve myself and have an understanding that we can all live in peace. I'm definitely not going to be a man that I'm not going to argue with no 20-year-old, no 30-year-old, and those young dudes. But an old wannabe man like that
I
dude,
ain't say that.
or any man that's 50 years old or older, I would drag their ass. And he constantly throwing these shots. But at the same time, everybody want to talk about Pac because you got a relationship with Puffy. It ain't my business who's on the bottom, who's on the top. But all the allegations and the writing on the wall, something sexual going on. And when you really look at it, I never, still today, don't have a problem with Usher.
New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah, that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
what
like a living.
Life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
When they told me to introduce Usher to me, he rolled his eyes. I said, what's this for? They said, well, even Puffy's lovers. At some point, we all got to be held accountable. But it's not too late to fix it. I admit, I did a whole bunch of aggressive shit. But I had to fight. I didn't know any better. If somebody asks me something and I feel can help the culture of hip-hop, I would say it. When I first started speaking on podcasts and collect calls, it was about the culture. I was willing to talk to anybody. Not for no views, not...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
People would call the guy I was doing it with, and he would let me hear the horrible things they said about Tupac. I would hear the things about the involvement of Tupac exits from the world. I was hearing their voices with jealousy. That's sad. Because Pac kept everyone that he was around. And it's real sad that you get all these different stories. People who never met this man is doing documentaries, books, and a live just to get paid. It's only one guy, and I'm not going to say his name because that's for him to say his name. There's one guy who really, really, really got it right. I heard some of the things that he done about the assassination of Tupac. And usually when I hear people doing a story about Tupac, not because one, it's not true. Two, they don't like him. Or they didn't know him. But this man and his wife got it so right, it'll make hair stand up on your arms. Either you're gonna be in tears because you feel so bad about what happened to him, or you're gonna be enraged and wanna act up about what happened to him. Like I said, I'm not gonna say the man's name. He's a really great person, and he finally got it right. The people who were involved in that project, I never witnessed something that's wrong, so passionate. And the truth, I was there. There's only two people can really say what happened in that car. Pac and myself. He's not here. So it's me, and I know the truth.
So, Jaguar said that Jay-Z and Beyonce are monsters. What do you think she meant by that?
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Well, first of all, me personally, I don't believe in just talking around other feet. I know that, and I'm going to get to the straight point, because I'm not scared of nobody. Facts is facts. What I will say is that when you really look at it, I know Beyonce comes from a great woman. And I can't judge a person what they do in the future, but I know anytime I ever seen her, she was a lovely young lady, and she worked hard. I never had a problem with Jay. Matter of fact, they do the song "Me and My Girl Killed," which was my song I did on Tupac. And usually I wouldn't allow nobody to do that. But I know she was passionate about it. I know he was passionate about it. So the rest is history. They did it. But I do say this. If there's anything, that's why Puffy is so important to hip-hop today more than he's ever been. And the reason why I say that, we got to fix this situation. Only way to fix this situation is with the truth. Let that man tell his truth. And can't nobody say that. Only reason why you can talk bad about a person who's telling, a person who's being a snitch, is a person who's playing by the rules. If you're going out there and you beat motherfuckers up, you can't tell on nobody when you get beat up, because that's fair. But if Bumping is doing the right handkerchief, I think he should put the culture of hip-hop above himself. I think he should put the culture of our people above himself. I think the government should allow him to help and do a healing process of all the people that have been misused. I don't think that Jimmy Iovine should walk away untouched. I don't think that Clyde Davis should walk away untouched. Russell Simmons, well, Quincy Jones took the easy way out. Even though the walls are closed in, so he exit. But even if you look at Clarence Avant was the biggest enemy for black people than anyone. And he was there in those meetings when they know all the drugs and the men that could not be a man and become sexual active to another man because he writing a check.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I know this. Suge Knight ain't never been in none of those parties. But everyone has. All the ones who has participated. Puffy, look here. He's been doing a lot of telling on a lot of years. But that's neither here or there. Set the record straight. Let's do some healing. And if there's anything that needs to be said, who knows? It's come from the parties, come from the private vacations together, come from those type of people's family ties.
What do you think? What do you think about R. Kelly's situation and the history of Aaliyah?
Well, when you really look at it, you got to look at it like this about the R. Kelly situation. Once again, you got to look at the fact that there's no excuses, but look at the fact that R. Kelly was getting molested and all the things he went through. Well, what the crazy thing about all this is this. You just gotta look at what it is. They committed fraud against me because nobody never served me. My lawyers never went to court. They got a default judgment against me. And the same people who both have been helping me, which was Jimmy and Interscope, ended up with my catalog in my company. That's the biggest racist situation you'll ever see in life. To the fact that I kept it solid and allowed the man to get out of prison instead of keep him in prison. But for Jimmy, Harris's, Legals, they knew what they used to squash my settlement. They used the body of a kid, a Jewish kid. It's not like I'm saying that they didn't know already. They already knew. They talked about it. It's right there. Even in their interview. They swept up under the rug because they wanted death row that bad. If somebody some of you want that bad, and they wouldn't look away from a little kid was murdered. They used to doing some RICO shit, get away with it. That's sad. Reason why I feel bad for Puffy is because the minute they couldn't use Puffy anymore, they threw him away. They put him basically in a trash can. And all the people that hung with him, and a lot of people he helped, have walked away from that man. And that's not right. You know, they didn't do it for my family. You know, I got some of the greatest kids in the world. And I love them. You know, there's from my oldest, Taj, who gave me a granddaughter and a grandson, to my oldest daughter, Arian, to my son, you know, even like Jacob Bendler should, but Jacob.
Wow. Okay.
Sosa, to Bailey. Happy birthday, Bailey. Happy B-Day. Taz.
Right.
And, you know, my youngest, man, that's my twin, legend. Sosa's a comedian. You know, he's on tour. All my kids are doing something that I'm proud of. But at the same time, if I would have did something wrong when he could have took something from me, I deserve to lose something, that would have been all right with me. When you go and beat me off my stuff, off my money, to affect my kids, I'm coming. And not one person I helped tried to help my kids. No, you got the Cat Williams, that's the homie. Cat's a stand-up dude. But none of the rest of them, right? And I say this to say that. Me and Puffy is don't get misunderstood. Him and I is not friends. He's not my enemy. When I'm home, I'm not saying they need help.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
But I would do the honorable thing and look out for his kids. There won't nobody to bring harm to his kids, not on my watch. That's what a real man does. And I got respect for my family because they stay strong to all this. And it's times where in prison, you know, it's so cold at night that I gotta wear a beanie, you know, socks and sweatsuits because I'm freezing. If it's raining, my head getting wet because it kills me. And I don't have anything to take the cheat off. I just gotta be strong and walk through it. And some people still want to bring negativity and negative phone calls when you talk to people with bullshit. But not my family. And it's come to a point where while we gotta cheer every time somebody falls or somebody dies, why we cannot get together? Why we can't say, you know, I look at it like this. There's no person strong enough, I have that much control over me to be my enemy. I might not consider you a friend, but you're not powerful enough to be my enemy. And I feel I will put society and the culture of hip-hop before myself. So I really don't like the fact that Puffy got to be dragged through the mud, even though apparently he did some work. I know it, he know it, everybody else know it. But what's the reason why you call him out now? And he's not the only one.
Until you hear the explanation. You can start a rumor on a guy like me or a celebrity just like that. All you have to do is push a button on your phone and say, so-and-so did this to me. R. Kelly did this to me. And if you get any traction from that, if you're able to write a book from that, if you're able to get a reality show, then any girl that I had a relationship in the past that it just didn't work out, she can come and say the same exact thing.
Are you blaming this on social media?
I'm talking about the power of social media.
In 2008, R. Kelly was found not guilty on 14 counts of child pornography after prosecutors in Chicago failed to convince a jury that he was a man seen in a sex tape with a girl as young as 13.
What do you want to say to your fans?
Last month, Kelly was indicted again, this time charged with aggravated criminal sexual abuse of 4 women, including 3 who the charges say were minors at the time.
So, R. Kelly, he did some things that he shouldn't have done. He served his time. But he's not doing his thing. I think Tory Lanez is one of the most incredible artists around. I feel he in prison for unjust stuff he didn't do. Or, who knows, from Little Story to Little Dirt, he deserves a fighting chance. own this Young Thug, right? Why is it we always got to throw the key away on our people or the culture of hip-hop? Because when you look at it, for Tory Lanez or myself or anyone else to do time is way harder.
Crazy.
For a person like us to do time than a person who never had them. Or you take a man who's not giving nothing back to society. He's not having a job. He's not having speaking engagement or giving money to help. But you'd rather have a man who you know he's going to get out, he's going to make little kids, he's going to make women, he's going to do all the worst shit in the world. But you guys going to let him get out, come back, get out, come back. You have a person talking about being the president of the United States. Not all.
Wow, that's crazy.
You want to be gay, that's on you. But if you come to prison because you got shit crimes for 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and all this crazy stuff, and you turn around and say, I want to identify as a woman, become a me, because you don't want nobody to know who you are, because something's going to happen to you. So you put some lipstick on, and you get hormone shots, and they giving them.
That's the guy. That's the guy right there. This guy is the dude that did You Got Punked. They showing him in the video now. This dude right here is really, really in the background. And allegedly, he is really, really, really shady. He doing some wild stuff, man. But we still looking that type of stuff up. Just letting you know.
Yeah, because you're not president, that don't mean you can't help. Go to these black colleges. Go to these other people who really need your help. Don't be Deion Sanders. Get a little recognition at a black school and turn your back on. Yeah, you owe me $500,000 that I gave you. You never gave me $1 back. So I'm supposed to shake your hand when I see you? Or you want to take it? But I'm not in no negativity. Because at the same time, Big Boy is one of my good friends forever. He from Pasadena. All my homies from Medina. You know what I mean? For you to bring somebody you know lying on your podcast and allow them to lie against me, you could just say, hey, I ain't sure you got to beat him up. You said, well, that ain't true. I know this man. But you did not. And when I'm home, I hope I never run into you, because I don't want to get in no trouble. And you know what I mean. But why do we always got to attack each other? I don't know. I don't feel that Beyonce worships the devil and against people. I think Beyonce got the whole world on her shoulders. It's hard to be a woman, a talented woman. Women got to get pregnant, have a baby, take care of the baby, because you got two types of fathers. You got a man who's a provider, who gets out there and do whatever he got to do to take care of his household, take care of his family, his kids. And you got some men to be there, go to work for 6 hours, if that. They can walk you to school. They can pick you up in school. They can play cards with you if they want to. They're not being a provider. Because in this world, as a man, especially as a black man, because I know how it is to be a black man. I can't tell you nothing else about being anything else because I'm black. You got to work hard. Got to work real hard. So we got the weight of the world on our shoulders. But that's not an excuse. The main thing is we got to put it together and figure out how we're going to get better.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
One of the most important things about this situation we're all going through, because it affects all of us. I work real hard, not only to build Afro, which I named, which I started, which was my vision. Nobody's but mine. But I have so many other people in this industry. But I just didn't do it for that person or for myself. I did it for the culture. Coaching our people. So, once again, is it worth Puffy dying in prison and nothing getting fixed? Or is it worth Puffy telling the truth? He don't do as much time as they want him to, but he helps everyone. I think it's time for help. I think it's time for him. You know, I don't want to go back in his history, but you gotta look at the Menendez brothers. I think her name was Leslie, the lawyer. She just had a case where a guy killed his stepfather, I believe. And she said, you know what? If you say your stepfather was asking you, we're going to beat this case. That's why you killed him. And you know what? She represented the Menendez brothers. And she said, you know what? If your father was molesting you, we can beat this case. It allowed them to do it the first time. And they got a home jury. But we don't know if she planted that in their head.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Now, you probably better call, well, you got a great lawyer, Jericho's daughter, but you better call that, put that bitch out of retirement and be like, hey, look what they did to me when I was little. Because everybody knows Puffy went through some things. Everybody knows the story about everybody knows. Give him a shot. Give him a fighting chance. But most importantly, let him get the ones who's been misusing the culture of hip-hop decades. That's all we got to do. And I'm going to say this. I love women. So all you women out there, don't forget, Monday through Sunday, Girl Monday through Sunday. I call it an organization. They really giving back to the community, to the women. So participate. Make everybody stronger.
Did you want to tell the public, Suge, what they can look forward to from you, what your plans are?
Yeah, okay. Well, first and foremost, I feel I should get blessed. Not as a favor, because I'm right when it comes to the law. It denied my federal rights to go per and represent myself. They also fired a paid attorney that I was paying. And the judge said on record that he's going to let this guy named LeBlanc, whatever his name is, represent me even though for 40 years. And I can't fire him. And that guy told my family and told me that, hey, I don't know your case. If you go to trial, I'm going to lose. I don't know anything about your case. And on paper, the proof, he seen me twice. A total time of 10 or 15 minutes. And he said it's overwhelming. Nobody can see my case for 10 or 15 minutes and take me to trial. So, when I write by the law, first thing first is give my freedom. Second thing is to do much for the community as I can. And do my best to rebuild the culture of hip hop. I'm not in it to be a label anymore. I'm in it to do all those things because it's a younger guy's turn. You got so many great artists that can be great.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And I owe it to my family. Go see my mother's grave. I wasn't able to see my mother buried. So,
to throw a fight,
this stage of my life,
to throw a fight just for the entertainment.
I'm coming home and do whatever I can.
A lot of
do.
people saying, well, Tyson couldn't move.
It also starts with me.
Man, if
So
Tyson couldn't move like he showed in that ring with that little young boy, 27 years old, if he couldn't move,
my best friends in the whole wide world,
he should not have been in the ring at all, because that wasn't the
somebody
fight.
told me yesterday.
And this young guy that's a fighter, Because
look old.
Tyson couldn't move,
I said,
he
yeah.
should have did much better to beat him up.
Made $20 million.
But it was all the publicity
If you
stuff.
live to be 200 more years
my
on
story,
Earth,
and I'm sticking to it.
you would never make $20 million. So, how great
$20
is that?
million for a publicity
Like
stunt.
I said, but really the main thing is to go out and do some stuff with you, man. I want to really, really be involved.
And the other guy got 40 million.
Being as strong as it should be, and it will be. And there's nothing wrong with the truth. There's nothing wrong with taking accountability for mistakes I did or anybody else. That's basically it, you know. Oh, by the way, you know, Ms. Harris, you forgot something. Did you know I just had my son arrested? As well as you know, Tory. They arrested her, let her do time, and no one else but her. And they used that to make me think my deal. So we could say a lot of things about women don't be strong. I think the strongest thing we have is women. Women, period. But women are so strong, they always support it, regardless we right or wrong. That's basically what it is. And we're all on the same page. Trying to make things better, not worse. Man, we're gonna link up, man. We're gonna chop it up.
Come to England, man.
We're gonna really do some Man, check this out, man. Much as I love the West Coast, sometimes like, man, I would like to hang around out the country and enjoy myself a little bit. My youngest son, he playing basketball. So we gotta wait for that. I'm damn sure I'll come visit. And anything I can do to make it better, I'm gonna do just that. I'll take any shots I need to take to make the culture of hip hop where it should be. And there's nothing better than these new artists. I wish them all the best. They are the best.
And I still wear my beanie, Suge. My partner laughs at me when I wear my beanie at nights when I'm sleeping.
You know, we go through it, but you know, ain't no complaints. And sometimes you talk to certain people and they won't have an attitude. How you got an attitude and you argue? When you get off the phone, you get to do anything you want to do. If they stressed out, they can have a drink. They can even smoke some weed. I can't even smoke a cigar. What I got right here is what I got. And at the same time, it's been 10 years. I ain't had a bad day yet. We got to change the fact that white American laws stay just. And over the years, all the laws in black people's grief. It's not about racism. We should be past that. It's about fair. If somebody do 3 murders and they get no time, then somebody can really try to kill me and I get away and I get all this time. Don't make sense. Fair is fair, right is right, wrong is wrong.
And people don't appreciate what they've got until they lose it.
Yeah, man. But look, it's great talking to you. Worked hard on my case. I did my Hades myself. I studied, reading, going to the law out there. I need a question to ask somebody. There's somebody here that knew a little bit more than me sometimes, so I wasn't embarrassed to ask. Now I got myself in court and I'm right. I got the right lawyers to deliver my freedom. But it should be fair all across the board. They following wrong. I'll see y'all in another year. Appreciate it. Signing off. One of the things I thought was really crazy with the politics side of it, you know, everybody mad at Jay-Z for saying he putting Kendrick to perform at the Super Bowl. First of all, you got to give Kendrick Lamar cigars. That's like one of the best artists in the industry. So he deserved that. But Jay is not making that decision. Jimmy Iovine still makes those decisions. That's why when Mary J. Blige got an award one year, she says, Jimmy called me and got me to perform at the Super Bowl when it was in L.A. Because right now, it's an Interscope artist, which is Kendrick, and probably going to promote other Interscope artists because it's Jimmy Iovine making those decisions. So when Nicki Minaj or Wayne or anybody else get mad at Jay, they should be having a conversation with Jimmy. But hands down, Kendrick Lamar deserved to be performing at...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Who's better than Kendrick? I would like to see Kendrick bring out J-Rock, you know, making some real West Coast shit. Besides that, if you take Puffy, Jimmy Iovine and Puffy was hand in hand when they beat up the girl Capricorn and Jimmy made her take a check and he paid her to not get Puffy in trouble. This is like Jimmy and Andre doing all these things and these awards and open up centers when everybody know in black and white, Andre beat up more than I can't picture nobody else. He beat up more bitches than I can Tina Turner because I can only beat up one. Still honor for them to honor him because who's in his corner. So the blame a lot of times is on the person who's along all this stuff. But they don't care because they don't care about our culture. They don't care about the culture of hip-hop. They just care about their individual things. Then you got Snoop and you got the Lion King. Not the Lion King, the Liar King. A liar. So you kind of like Michael Harris going around saying he had something to do with Death Row, which is a lie. He named Death Row, which is a lie. But more importantly, they don't have nothing to do with Death Row or own Death Row because Kendrick Lamar is able to use a Tupac track with no problem because Interscope own it. And they want to say Interscope own it because what Jimmy and did illegally to work me out my company was a plan. They offered me $700 million. First they offered me $500 million, then $700 million. I didn't want to settle, so they committed fraud against me. And at the same time, when you look at it, they let a guy who lied so much in his proof. I didn't want to say that at the point where they were shaking everybody down. It's because the fact that I didn't want nobody to not get out of prison. Michael Harris is a baby killer. And they didn't make a big deal of it because he laughed about it, said because he was a Jewish kid. And these are facts.
Wow.
So, facts. If anybody say it's not facts, you can read it for yourself. That's how deep it is. But they will overlook that because they want my company that bad. But I'm going to get my shit back. But all these lies and lies and lies, there's nothing wrong with the truth. No matter who it is, whether there's nothing wrong with the truth. But the West Coast, we're the most powerful, driven culture of our own. So everybody want to get mad because Kendrick performing. But how could you talk about Kendrick when all the people who's talking live on the West Coast and you from somewhere else? So it makes no sense to me. But once again, people come from other states, live in our state, and want to take our business away or act like us. And Kendrick said it best. They're not us. It shouldn't have to be East Coast, West Coast, down south, all this stuff. But let's just deal with the truth and give the cigars when the cigars are due. And more importantly, we got to stop and history repeat itself. Ray J, you out there pounding on your chest, starting all this weird shit. I can't even say it's weird shit. You pounding your chest, getting into it with Puffy kids. Puffy kids pounding on their chest, getting into it with you. Remember one thing. That East Coast, West Coast war, I feel we won it. But Puffy used people from neighborhoods out here. You used some people from Compton to go against us, and that destroyed their neighborhood. That destroyed everything they worked hard to build, all because of Puffy recruited you motherfuckers. All because one dude wouldn't even been an informant if it weren't for Puffy. He wouldn't be sitting in prison right now if it wasn't for Puffy. Snoop wouldn't be looked upon crazy if it weren't for Puffy. So, don't let history repeat itself. So, don't be recruiting nobody to get at Ray J. Ray J, don't be letting motherfuckers pump you up to start a war. Because majority of the people on the West Coast is not following you because you've been living with this man. And your people you fuck with the people who's not with us.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It shouldn't have to be a difference. Let's do what's best for the culture of hip-hop. Let's do what's best to make the truth be told. Let's stop letting all these people get on these platforms and do a bunch of lying. Now, for the liar king, Mike, to get on the Breakfast Club and say he started Death Row, that's a lie. He came with the name, are you out your fucking mind? Because the paperwork doesn't lie. I came with the name Death Row. I had the registered name Death Row. It was a guy named Unknown who had Death Row, but he named it like Def Jam. When I first talked to him, I said, look, are you gay? He said, why you say that? I said, because you calling yourself, you naming your shit after Russell Simmons. I named my shit after the real Death Row. And everybody knows that Russell and all those guys were playing with each other buttholes the whole time, the whole journey. If it weren't for Kamora, Russell's wife, Russell wouldn't be shit. She validated, let everybody know that Russell got to be a great man because you got a down-ass bitch who's beautiful. But we can't be gay. It was opposite. But at the same time, you let this guy make up these lies. You guys follow these lies. I would not allow nobody remove my history of what I've done and who I am. I had bread and money and shit going on before any of this shit because I always been a go-getter. And at the same time, if anybody think they're better than me, I salute them because you're doing what's best for hip-hop. But if you still doing everything that I've done, my relationship with Tupac, I'm the only person that started putting a company's name on a chain, Death Row Records on the chain. So, if you in the same category as I, and you've been promoting this for 4 years, what have y'all done? Show me the paperwork where you own something. If you can't tell the truth, pipe down before motherfuckers get put the fuck down. That's all I gotta say. That's all I'm about. I'm about building right now. I have not one thing negative to say about no one. If somebody's doing great, I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them. There's nothing wrong with the truth. And the truth is the truth. I sign off. I'm Suge Knight.
The truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. Suge Knight, ladies and gentlemen, on Sean Otwood podcast. One of the things that I'm noticing about Suge is I know that he is, whatever crime he's in jail for, he done forgave himself and he's ready to move on and do bigger things in life and do positive things. There gotta be a time in your life where you say, oh, all this stuff don't make no sense. I don't want no bling bling and I don't want no chains. All the Mr. T back in the day, Man, I wanted so many chains. I wanted to catch up with Mr. T. I had chains dripped all the way up to my neck and make sure they fall even, and rings on every finger, even though they was fake. Yeah. So you grow up and you say you don't need all that stuff, man. So all I want to do is help people. That's interesting. One of the things I was going to say, especially with the R. Kelly thing, suppose, even especially with the drugs involved, this horse tranquilizer stuff, I don't know what this stuff is, but imagine this stuff make you do things that you really, really don't want to do, because you want to be in this record label, you want to be with this, and these people are trapping you and giving you these drugs and spiking your drinks, and then all of a sudden you do something out of your mind crazy because of this horse tranquilizer stuff. Then they film it, and they got you, and you like, oh man, what are you supposed to do? No matter what you do, nobody believe you, and they gonna publicize this thing all the way to the court system, and you got to play along like a puppet. I don't know what's gonna happen, but now that I'm off, all you want to do is live your life. I'm hearing all this, man, and then the tunnels, dude, I never even known. That's a whole different story. I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Thank y'all so much for watching the videos. If you're an ender, meaning that you made it to the end of this video, you have stayed the whole time and you watched the entire video, you are a ender. Put that in the comments that I'm an ender. And my echo team, no echo over here, the echo is over back there, y'all. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.